Hello there everyone, welcome back to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name is Emily. Yesterday we took off from Gatwick and we flew down to, we're flying down to Gibraltar. And today is going to be our arrival. So currently we are just west of Madrid, sort of halfway between Madrid and the Portuguese border. And we are currently tracking towards Faro. We're at 25 minutes from our currently calculated top of descent. I thought we'd come back in and plan our arrival. So today we are going to be flying into Gibraltar. So what I'm going to do is get my chart information up for that. I'm going to have a look and see what the charts for there are looking like at the moment. So I can't actually see any of the star charts on this. So I'm going to have a look on just JetView and use that. Well, it's UV Airlines JetView, but same difference. So I'm going to do an arrival from the Faro area. So what we'll do is we're just going to fly a standard approach via. So we're going to land. Sorry, we'll program it in the arrival in. So we're going to do arrival at Gibraltar onto runway 27. Yeah, which is absolutely fine. And then we are going to arrive to, before the centre fix, we are going to be putting into LINTO. LINTO, and Linto was his name. Oh. Sorry, I'm scrolling the wrong way here. Maybe I'm not. That was silly of me. So I'll now type LINTO in and click on the centre fix, and that'll add it. There we go. And then I'm going to clear the discontinuity, and then I can from there we're going to be heading to waypoint Charlie. So I'll rotate it again, and I'll just do my arrival from there. So it's going to be, and I believe this is going to be a place bearing distance waypoint for us. Yep. So it is November 35. So November 035. 540 West 005 4000. Wonderful. So I'm just getting an understanding here of my thingy to Gibraltar. So 225 on the TACAN, I believe. So GBR. So this is, we're going to do place bearing distance. So to the place is going to be GBR. The distance is going to be 21.4. And then, no, 21.4. And then the distance is going to be, my correction. Right, the place, Gibraltar, the bearing, if I have a freaking aneurysm trying to do this, is going to be 225 degrees. The distance, 21.4. There we go. So that'll be in there. And then we'll proceed from there to Victor. Where's it gone? So, okay, so I can insert it there. So, VFA, top of drop, Linto. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly Yeah, okay, I'm going to fly it differently. So, our approach is largely programmed at this stage, believe it or not. The only other thing that's left for us to do is to get an up-to-date METAR from the sim, which we'll do via our iPad, which I definitely didn't click on there. Also, you'll notice that the charge is going down, and I actually really respect the effort that's gone into simulating this tablet now. So, our rough landing weight is going to be 63 tons. I'm going to talk a little bit about our weight in a moment and why it's changed. And that gives us a landing roll on 27 of 1140, which is less than the full length of the runway, which is good. So what I'm going to do is just get a new METAR, sorry. So I'll refresh the METAR, which is 240, so winds are 240 at 12. Temperature is 22. QNH is going to be 1012. Now, when you fly the visual approach to runway 27. No, good job. I checked. We want to fly the visual approach to the other end, so it's runway 09. My apologies. The approach will still remain the same. Do not worry. Insert. So, our approach at runway 09. Like I say, winds are calm, so I'm going to do my perf there. I programmed winds, didn't I? Actually, it's 240 at 12. So yeah, we've got to land from 27 ends. So that's entirely my bad. But we can fly a visual approach point there. And what I'm going to do is set my initial point there to go from Linto, and we're going to do a PBD waypoint. So we're going to do basically our center fix. No, it's fine. Don't worry, Emily. Don't stress. You've got this. Yeah, this is my brain on the daily at the moment. So we'll fly from Linto, and we'll fly, basically just fly. I'm going to actually take manual control when we go with total Linto, and we'll descend down and arrive at the centre fix, which is a 5 mile final, which is fine. So that makes sense to me. That makes perfect sense. So yeah. Anyway, the main reason I was in here was so that I wouldn't get distracted, and I'd find our decision height for the approach as a Category D aircraft. Ignore my thing scrolling there. What I'm going to do is just set my decision point at 500 feet, because we know we're going to be visual, and that'll be my confirmation that we are stable on the approach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set 5,000 feet in the window is our descent altitude, and I'll see you guys when we get to about 10,000. Alrighty, I will see you guys momentarily. Hi everyone, so we're just descending down now, so you can just see the Straits of Gibraltar there. We're sort of in the more open part, but to the right there, that's the Atlantic. When you head inland, that is the Mediterranean. So you can see, looking at the tablet, I'm going to actually refresh our METAR, apply that just so that we can get the most up-to-date weather. Like I say, we're still estimating 1140 metres stopping distance, which is perfect. Like I say, the sort of calculated distance for us is 1528, which is well before the end of the runway. It's not going to be a massive amount of space, so we've got to get down nice and quick. But if I was to, out of interest, just go medium brake, So no, it's going to have to be max manual on my part, which is completely fine. So you can see we're just dropping down through 20,000 feet. I came back a little bit on the early side. And yeah, so we're coming down. Like I say, you know, we're bringing the aircraft in for a landing, and we'll get sorted. So cockpit door goes to the lock position. I've got my spoilers in the armoured position. That's really all I can do at this point. I've got the belt up sign's been illuminated, and because we're obviously dropping down now, you know, I know most of the low-cost airlines tend to get the seatbelt sign on quite early to make it easier on the crew to with the cleanup, as far as I understand. So yeah, apart from that, actually what I am going to do, since we are pretty, we're not short on fuel, I'm going to get my APU started nice and early. Reason for that is it's a really short taxi in at Gibraltar, and I just want to be able to get the engine straight off so we can get people off as soon as we land. So like I said, I've got about 22 miles to go to Linto. What I've already done is pre-scrolled in. Well, okay, it's dropped it out, but basically I'm just going to, as soon as we go to the top of Linto, I'm going to change to heading hold and go 091 and just fly straight up the straight, and then basically just fly a this is our downwind leg, base leg, final, and just aim for the final to work out nicely in the right place. So yeah, like I say, our total flight time, well, we'll look at the stats when we land, but our it doesn't actually say how long we've been flying, interestingly, if I look at my flights so far. But like I say, we'll get it checked out, and I'll update you guys when we get down. Alright. So yeah, like I say, we'll pause the video and we'll be back. We'll be back soon, you'll see. I can't sing the song very well at all. Alrighty, we are back. So we're just dropping through 8,500 feet. You can see Gibraltar's actually behind the pillar there at the moment, but basically we've dropped off the end of the nav route, so just in heading select mode now. We are pretty close to Algeria, so I'm going to actually turn a 065, go 10 degrees left of track, and basically we're just going to head in, like I say, we're going to sort of make a very short base leg of it for our approach and landing. I just noticed we're incredibly quick for the altitude we're at, so I'm going to pop my speed brake out. There we go. Pop our vertical velocity there to 1800. Just pull it back slightly. In fact, we'll go 1500, which will cause the nose to come up, but by the time the speed drops off, we'll be in the right place. Like I say, we're quite high above water, so I'm not too bothered about speed, but that is the rock there. So we're just going to fly around it, come in and land. That's Spain, that's Algeria, that's Gibraltar. So you can see, like I say, this is a massive trade, complex thing. Fun fact, just before the Second World War, there was a plan to dam this area off and basically let the Mediterranean Sea evaporate and turn into a large amount of farmland. Luckily, that didn't go ahead, but hey, 1012, there we go. So I'm going to go back to, let's see, it's actually a pretty perfect spot, so I'm going to put my air brake away. I'm actually going to go to a low amount of, no, I'm just going to put it away for now. And like I say, we'll change that in a moment. I know. There you go. So I'm just changing all my barrel refs to 1012, which is the reference we have for Gibraltar. So what I'm going to do next is bring our range to 20 miles. Actually, we'll make it 40, because that will then mean we can see the entire trip on there. So actually, yeah, give it a couple of seconds and that'll drop down and work as anticipated. Got a little bit of power going in. So what I'm actually going to do is take speed control back to ourselves. So I'm going to engage that, so I want that. And I'm just going to go to 230 knots. In fact, 210. Yep. And then, like I say, I'm pretty much just going to point us to arrive just behind the centre fix. So I can just disconnect the autopilot at about, you know, when we hit about 2,000 feet. Get us into landing configuration and then do the turn to final fully configured. So we're at 3,000 feet now. We are getting into the area of the airfield. So I'm going to turn my landing lights on. Turn offs, landing lights. Make the PA the cabin crew. Cabin crew, please take your seats. But apart from that, that's all set. So yeah. So this scenery, by the way, is the default scenery that comes as part of MSFS. Radar alive. So we've descended a bit quicker than I anticipated. Still got 13 miles to go into the centre fix. So what's that then? I thought that was the bug that told you when you were descending. Fair enough, maybe I'm wrong. Turns out, well, not maybe I'm wrong, I am wrong. Happens a lot. So we'll just go 4948, that'll do left click, right click, and that will give us heading mode, and then nav mode's armed. So like I say, I can stick us in nav mode for the turn, but I'm just going to take the autopilot out once we get slowed down a bit further. So at about 10 miles to the centre fix, because we're at the right altitude now, we are on altitude, we just need to do the airspeed adjustment. I'll basically just kick us into a really slow, yeah, so 10 miles to go. I'll make it about 6 or 7, and then I'm going to reduce our speed to up to VAPP. So you can see the reflection of the rock in the water there. Wonderfully still day today. So I prefer the approach from the other side, which is a bit prettier, but this one will do me absolutely fine. Okay, so now that we're within 10 miles of range, I can bring us to a bit more precision. And what I'm going to do is bring us into nav mode. So I'm going to turn on to intercept the centre fix when it will be north of us, so it'll be a nice sort of turn in there for us. Our speeds drop down to VAPP. I'm going to take managed speed out myself. And then we are going to fly this approach. Yeah, we'll just go straight onto zeros. Due north, 5 miles to run. So I'm going to set 140 knots in the window. We'll get our actual perf speed there. And that's going to be 137. So I'll put 137 in the box. And what I'll do is, yeah, we'll get that airspeed going, so coming down. Landing gear down. So auto brakes are not going to be on for this approach as I'm landing manually. So that's absolutely fine. I'll actually set them to medium just so they kick in automatically. Yeah, because maximum mode can't be kicked in basically. So I'll set medium mode and then we'll go from there. So our landing gear is swinging down. Landing gear down, 3 green. And then we'll go full flap. Landing ECAM green, no blue. Landing lights are on. Seatbelt signs are on. Cabin crew have advised us they are prepared for the landing. We are good to go. Okay, so I'm going to go direct to the centre fix. Insert. And put the aircraft into manage mode for the altitude, just to get us descending on track. Now that the airfield's back in our forward quarter, I'm going to put myself to arc mode. Oh, come on out. Behave. There we go. And set my range to 10 miles. So, we'll do the final turn, and then I'll take the autopilot out when we're established on the final. Negative. I'll just fly it myself. Oh, there's the turn. There's the airfield in sight. So runway's in sight. We are stable on the approach path. So what I'll do is I'm just going to let the aircraft roll itself out, then I'll disconnect the autopilot. Autopilot out. Emily has control. And we'll start our descent on track.
1,000.
So we're looking at about 300 feet per minute in the box for the rate of descent. So I'll pull the nose up slightly. Basically, you look to descend at about double, well, yeah, I think, so it's sort of we've got 250, 300 feet per minute that we'll be looking to descend at, so we are really slow. I can feel, it almost feels like I'm hovering. But, yeah, I think part of this is because I'm used to flying combat aircraft a lot lately, so I'm used to sort of barreling in at 300 knots, standing on the brakes, you know, doing a pattern brake, and then and landing. But like I say, the feels very slow, this. So I've just got my eyes on the touchdown zone now. So I'm scanning the airfield for hazards. I've got my puppies, and which are showing that I am on descent. I'm going to crab it slightly into the wind. Continue landing. A slight wind from the left, which is going to give us a bit of turbulence coming up.
500.
Continue approach.
Minimum.
Continue landing. Slightly high. Of course, there's an AI on the runway. I don't care. I'm just going to land on his head. What's a rebound? That'd be a go-around normally. Okay, hard on the toe brakes. 80 knots, reverse idle. Whew, that was fun. Got a bit exciting towards the end there. So, yeah, I landed pretty hard on that one. I felt that was a hard landing. Okay, so we'll get to the end here, spin around and taxi back. I've got my gear fans. I'm going to knock those on immediately. Because I can tell you right now that, yeah, they're already indicating, they're indicating 40 at the moment. So I'm going to disable them just so that we can see what our temperature is going to be at the point that we taxi in. But I will let you know what my landing rate was when I get to the gate. No. This thing generally won't taxi at the moment. That's neutralised. Wow, that takes a while to straighten out. I'm using tiniest amounts and yeah. So back taxi, so we'll take flaps up. I'll take speed brakes to retract. And that's a set pretty much. So you can see the brakes are 145 at the moment. That'll increase because so the sensors aren't actually on the wheel caliper, on the brake calipers. They're a little way above, so it takes a little while for that heat to permeate through fully. Like I say, Royal Air Force Gibraltar is on the right hand side there, and we've got Gibraltar Airfield proper on the left. So I take off over my head because he's in AI and I wasn't listening to him. But yeah, that was honestly really good fun, that. So I'm going to knock my landing lights off and put my taxi light to taxi. We're crossing over the main road. Yes, this main road here, this is Gibraltar High Street, basically. So if you want to get into Gibraltar, that's the road you go across. And we'll take the left turn here. And we've arrived from Gatwick. So I'm just going to go straight into this stand in front of us. And we'll get the aircraft parked up. Yeah, what a day. That was honestly, that was a good land. That was like a technically more challenging approach, shall we say. So I'm putting the going to taxi forward about 20 feet. So I'm just stop there. Set my parking brake. And you can see the brakes are already increasing 215. There you go, and knock both engines off. So they're going to come off now. I'm going to wait for, I'm going to look at my N2 for a second. I'm going to wait for that to drop below 18, which it has. So I can knock that off, clear that off. I'm just going to keep the wheel page up for now. So that's 215, so we're getting there on the temperature front. And what we'll do is we'll take beacon light off. There we go. And I'm going to use the comms menu for the first time intentionally on this trip. Ground services. Lol aren't working. So, like I say, we'll call it there. But thank you so much for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's little video. Like you can see, we've arrived. We're a little bit short of the stand. I was trying to stop that by eye. But you can see we are arrived here. I'm going to knock that landing light off, or that taxi light off. And we can get a screenshot with the rock behind us. I think there's always the iconic aircraft in Gibraltar screenshot, that, isn't it? So I'll turn that off. We'll turn that off. There we go. So anyway, that is our arrival into Gibraltar. Like I said, unfortunately we can't get the ground services, so we can't let anyone off here. But what a trip. Thank you so much for watching today's video, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to see more from me on a regular basis. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, guys. Oh, actually, my landing rate in Gibraltar, are you ready? Are you steady? Was 670.72 feet per minute, or 1.19 G. So that was quite a firm landing. But I mean, you can see why I wanted to land there and get us stopped, because it is a very short runway. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Bye. Come on, Emily. Stop the recording. Yeah.